Top of the morning to you. It's me, Lipstickpaddy, and you're looking at Kickstarter Radio 102.4. We're back on Kickstarter, and we've got a special one today. Now then, if you've been browsing Kickstarter, you're probably shouting so much like, "Can you stop putting RPGs as a tabletop game?" You know, when you go down the list and it's giving you loads of these 5e books. Yeah, it can be a little bit like, please Kickstarter, just make a subcategory. Well then, why am I bringing this one to you? Adventures and Academia First Class. Well peeps, there's an interesting story here, isn't there, to tell? Of course! So let's go down a little bit. Now these dice are looking absolutely fantastic, and with the bag, that's an add-on that you can get. The dog here is an actual professor, and the miniatures that you're getting here are really, really cute, and for me, this is kind of a, let's say, a gateway to bring people into RPGs, because the characters themselves are wonderfully non-serious dungeoneering characters, we'll say that much. And what we're getting here is a very low price. We're getting a lot of minis, we're getting pre-built character classes, and a story to go through. We'll go down the page, I'll explain this, but it's very, very cheap. And when you get the minis, when you can get the dice, when you've got pre-designed characters and you've got the maps, it plays like a board game with the role play around it. Because really, Dungeons and Dragons and a role play book can be played on a grid of just squares, and use your imagination, circa 1970. But most people want to see some eye candy, and we've got some delicious eye candy coming down. These minis, by the way, they have been done by, in fact, this whole project has been done by the miniature specialist at Steamforged Games, so he really has put a lot of effort into these minis. Look at the detailed shield on this lady here, love it. And just the detail across the whole thing looks stellar. It really does look stellar. So how much is it? Well, it's 30 pounds on the nose, it is what it is. They are keeping it nice and cheap. They are giving you these wonderful open book created character classes, so you can see what your character can do. You're going to be rolling dice, obviously, to activate certain things, which is good. They all come in their own character arcs, as it were. Like, you've got a set of mages, a set of melee characters, etc. We'll see that when we go down. It comes in this nice box. You're going to get, is it 13 of these for the 13 characters? Which is really, really good. Why is it so cheap? Well, if I just bring this pledge down, the one-shot adventure, which is levels 1 to 3, what does that mean? Well, it means it's about 3 hours, I guess. It's what it is. Maybe. Depends how fast you are and how many people you are, of course. But that is on PDF. There are battle maps as well, which you're going to have to print out, which is very, very good. And the character sheets that you're getting, you can also print them out as well. So you can potentially you know, edit them and stuff like that if you want, but that's why it's kind of cheap. You're paying for the minis, these portfolios. You add the dice on, you're up at around 41 or something like that, and you probably, obviously, want to go for the dice because it comes with a beautiful bag with the thing on it. Also, by the way, these minis, this is just the start of Adventures and Academia. There potentially is more stuff going to come for this, hinted at in the future. And it has got over, well, boring over 1,500 backers. So I expect this franchise to come back and have more in it. I mean, because technically speaking, levels 1 to 3, they might do a 4 to 10 campaign, which we might see in the future. And we of course don't have any monsters, of course, in here, so that could also bring a monster pack or something. But the concept of this is you can use minis from your other games. And if you are no stranger to Kickstarter, you've probably got a lot of minis just in books and stuff. Because when you're starting to do role playing, you'll end up taking minis out of boxes and putting them in display cases, and then taking the time to start to paint some of this stuff up. So you probably will have some. And even if you've got, for example, Mansions of Madness, you can bring all the enemies out from that, right? Any kind of retail game that has minis in, you can use them here. But yeah, really, really cool. And if you look at these characters as we go down, I love the bard in the wheelchair. That's kind of great. I do love, when you see them painted as well, they look absolutely fantastic. They look like nothing that you would see in D&D. And of course, once you've got your character class here, there's no question that you can go and roll these and put them in any D&D book that you can get out there. Oh my god! You've got like these, they just come from the Schoolhouse Arcane, and it's like, what are we? Yeah, we're in this big evil dungeon. It's like, because they do look kind of fresh heroes. Although the sorcerer here with flame coming out of her hands doesn't look that fresh, but you know. So yeah, you've got the mages here. I love the warlock standing on the books because he's tiny. The wizard owl, weird, isn't it? The ranger, I'd like to see him maybe with a little bit of a string going across there, but lots of people end up putting it in anyway when they're doing the mini. Interesting, the rogue has got a one-handed sword. It looks like potential. He's got throwing daggers, maybe potions that he can throw. Who knows? Divine, House Divine. So this is going to be paladins and healers. I didn't even see these words. Cleric then. And you've got the druid here. Love the staff of the druid. So detail here is coming through. And I think if you're bringing kids through an RPG, these are going to be wonderful models to bring in. And all that good stuff. The monk here as a... is he a turtle? It looks really cool. I like the staff with the fish on it from the monk. That is nice. I like that the barbarian is looking... it's not your archetype barbarian. Again, they're looking like they're just fresh out of school. They're just graduating. Certainly the fighter, he looks like definitely a teenager, doesn't he? So... Now, it does claim this is all going to be Kickstarter exclusive. The folios. The dog, the professor dog, that's exclusive. The 12 minis might be coming out at some point anyway. So these are the battle maps. It's a very quick campaign. It feels like that. It's going to finish in 5 days, actually, when this video goes out. And they're not really shown these. We're going to look at the updates as we go down. But this PDF will be, you know, you can bring it down on your iPad to run you through the whatever it is. But I'm old school. I do like to kind of print it out. And these are the templates. So the template is you can roll your own character, technically speaking. And if you're playing the Call to Adventure, which is on Kickstarter right now, you can get all your prehistory of your character and then put them into the template. Lovely. Because it's like a session 0 game for role-playing. And yeah, this is all super gateway stuff to get people into the genre. And I'm telling you now, when you play a role-play an RPG on the tabletop, and you've got the you've got the battle map, you've got the enemies on there, and it plays like a board game, really. You really start to really enjoy your character class, and you really want to know more, and bring in that character that you love playing and putting them through other D&D books that are out there. Absolutely phenomenal. Here's the Professor. Animal Adventures compatible. Has his own sheet. Okay. Now you can check the minis out. It goes to a what's it called? I always forget the Google Drive. There we go, Google Drive. You can see what they look like painted as well. This is the first class dice. This is gonna, what's the pledge? It's in pounds, isn't it? So it's gonna go £39 with this bag. But I mean, the bag looks fantastic, and I really like the look of these dice. Different character class will have different dice, and it's all this good stuff. So these are the houses. They're kind of coming from the school. They've got this aspect of it's coming from the school, right? Lovely art. The painted minis look drawn just beautiful. They look absolutely beautiful. Look at that bard. Absolutely fantastic. I love it. So they're just so cute and cuddly. You can definitely get teenagers, even an 8-year-old, wanting to come and play this game, and that will get them into the soiree. Now, there's these roleplay channels that you can check out. They would have played it and they're just absolutely fallen in love with it. Remember, this is just going to be the start of it. It probably is going to be extended as we go forward. But again, the flexibility, the sheer flexibility of the role-playing genre is that you can completely get RPG books, and a lot of these RPG books are telling you where your heroes are going. You know, they're showing you where the map is, what you're trying to, why are you there, what can you get from where the baddies are, etc., etc. And you can take all these heroes straight in. I mean, you don't have to create a hero every time. And you've seen how detailed these sheets are. So quite a lot of people on this. 4 sculptures, 3 on the story, 3 illustrators, and 2 on the graphic design, 1 creator, and 2 production leads. So a lot of people here, obviously marketing and trailer. I don't consider them working on a project, but quite a lot there. Now then, shipping. Well, it's just a box of minis, isn't it? So shipping's actually quite reasonable. I think Mexico isn't listed on it. Could be classed as rest of the world, but shipping from the UK, usually it's less than 25 for a board game. So I'd suggest we're probably going to get the same price as the US mainland, I think. Somewhere between that and Canada, maybe 18. There we go. Happy days. We are pledged in for this here. And they've got like the shipping plan notice. Have you noticed everything's going to be shipping in 2022? It's like going to be this epic year of all previous Kickstarters coming in. Now we're going to look at the previews just in a minute, but this is a fantastic present though for someone, isn't it? It's like, here you go, this is your first soiree into role-playing, and I've printed off the battle maps and I've printed off the one-shot adventure. Here you go. And you've got your dice bag and your dice, and have some fun. You can use your minis, you can use your standees from other games for the enemies and all that good sauce. Updates. Oh, live mini painting. Which house do you want to go to? Bard. Funded. So not much going on there, apart from the painting lot. How big are the minis? 28. Do they come pre-assembled? Of course. Is it standalone? Yes and no, I guess. You could potentially... Well, you should be able to bring in heroes from your other role-playing games and play this adventure, so... Yeah. Why don't you ship to my country? Well, there we go, peeps. A gateway RPG giving you fantastic pre-made character sheets ready to roll in 5e, giving you one-shot adventure levels 1 to 3. Yes. And you can take these heroes straight into any other books. I will... editor, can you put some suggested role-playing books here, please? We'll put them in at the bottom here. So, you know, I think we're getting 2 coming in that are going to be fantastic to play. We'll put them down in the list down below. And that's the kind of dungeons you can drop these students in to see how good they are. And that'll be actually quite fun to role-play students going into these heavy Dungeons and Dragons games. That's going to be quite exciting, isn't it? But it's quite cheap. Get a box of fantastic minis. I don't think you've got any minis like this that are students. Some of them are anamorphic as well, like the wonderful mage and the turtle, which look good, and yeah, this professor dude. So yeah, epic stuff. And get ready to paint them. Get ready to paint them. So what we're looking at here, Adventures in Academia First Class. This is definitely a green light for Steamforged Games for them potentially to bring out more stuff in the future. So this is really testing people's, if you're interested in this kind of concept of a school kids going into an RPG. It sounds phenomenal, doesn't it? So yeah, magical college characters. Hey, it's cheap, peeps. It's Christmas time. You want to buy yourself a gateway RPG just to see what it's like, because these heroes can certainly go into darker, more dangerous dungeons. Ooh, and the sheer thought of that sounds phenomenal, peeps. So there we go. First video of the week, bringing you Adventures in Academia First Class. Looks fantastic, peeps. A role-playing game that you don't want to miss, because it's definitely gateway. This is one to bring people in, young and old, into this genre, because they're so welcoming, these character classes, saying that they've just graduated from school and they're taking their first adventure. Sounds very, very cool. Don't miss that dice pack though. It is really super cool. Luxury. You can read designer notes about how they designed those dice to go above and beyond what's expected on a role-playing game. So there we go. Do we recommend it? Of course we do. It's for anyone who's not played any role-playing games, because it's a gateway role-playing system. The price is so cheap because they're letting you print off your adventure and print off your dungeon. You really just have to put in your enemies and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, printing off your stuff, you can get it in full colour, right? You can really get it as good as you want. And yeah, I think once you've got levels 1 to 3 played with this set, you might want to take them on another adventure, and then you can open the door to all the fantastic 5e stuff. And Dungeons and Dragons officially, you know, they've got you down to, you know, they've got so much stuff that you can push them through, or you can push them through to any kind of genre that you want to do, right? Because they're just kids going on an adventure, and there's going to be super dangerous ones out there. So funny. Anyway, peeps, thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, Lipstickpaddy. This has been Kickstarter Radio 102.4. You take care, stay safe, and bye-bye for now.